Hi, it's Jim from Animal Ability. Today we're going to talk about rear delts. When you use a chest-supported dumbbell row, even though you're primarily working your back, you are working your rear delts. And also, other rows work the rear delts, like the seated high row. You want to make sure you're trying to feel it between the lower portion of your shoulder blades, really get that squeeze. You can go pretty heavy on rows. And also, the next row you're going to see is going to be the seated row without any forward lean. Really hitting the rear delts here along with the back, protracting, retracting the shoulder blades. Now this is a face pull, the standard face pull, where you rotate your forearms around, stagger your stance if needed, pulling your elbows back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And here we have an external rotation row. A lot of people like to call this a face pull. Same thing, stagger your stance if needed. Make sure you're protracting and retracting the shoulder blades. Now, these here, you don't really want to go but so heavy on. You want to go for feel. Same thing here with the chest-supported rear delt fly. Not a lot of weight needs to be used because you're trying to really squeeze those rear delts. Trying to let the front of the dumbbell tilt down. As you can see, this is the unsupported version of the rear delt raise or rear delt fly. And here is a cable version of a rear delt fly. And of course, if you were doing multiple sets, you'd cross the other arm over just for balance purposes. Every little bit counts. Okay, now here we have the rear delt chop. You bend over, you attach a single rope, or you could just use the cable itself, and keep your arm mostly straight, a little bit of bend in the elbow at the start. Bend forward, get a good brace, keeping your weight going through your heels with anything that you're standing with. You want your weight going down into the earth through your heels. And here we have the reverse Pec Deck. I'm using a pronated grip. Really trying to force the arms back and squeezing. Now I'm going to a neutral grip and doing the same. You can adjust your seat up or down depending on what part of the rear delt you want to feel working. It's all one muscle, but a lot of times different angles. Now here's even a supinated grip. I don't have a fully closed hand because you'll see that that's rather awkward to fully supinate and contract your rear delts. But I'm trying to really push the backs of my hands. Now here you have a double banded rear delt fly. So you're pulling the band apart and the other band is pulling you forward. So you got double action going on here to make sure you have resistance all the way through the motion. Okay, going to use a mini band here and do scapula retraction. That also works the rear delts along with the rhomboids, which are under the trapezius between your shoulder blades. Very, very good for shoulder health. Usually with the rear delt exercises, you want to do anywhere from 10 up to 20 reps, depending on the exercise. This one would be more of a 20. This one here, 10, 15, 20. This is the A raise. Chest supported, really driving your chest into the bench. Don't want any low back involved. Number one, because you don't want to cheat with your low back. Number two, you don't want to injure your low back using it incorrectly. And here you'll see a Y raise. Bringing your hands up into a Y. We're doing it pronated, and now you'll see a neutral, really squeezing the rear delts and shoulder blades together. Protraction, retraction, that's the key. Now here we have a prone swimmer. This is really good for posture. Excellent exercise, trying to keep the elbows and arms up as high as you can the whole time. Chest off the floor. You can have your feet down or up. But the main thing is you're not really squeezing your low back to get up. You're squeezing your glutes, as you can see.